Hi everyone, in this video we'll go over 16 essential math knowledge questions that are commonly seen on the Asvab, PICAT, CAT-IV, AFQT, AFQT and Asvab GT exam. I'm an aerospace engineer and I've been helping students preparing for the Asvab test over 10 years. We are currently collaborating US Air Force to improve their applicant score too. From my experience, the best way to pass the Asvab test is simple. Practice, practice and more practice. And that's exactly what we focus with our students. To help with that, we have developed a powerful test prep tool called Asvab Prep. You can download this application from App Store or Google Play and practice. So let's get started. The question says, what is 12.05 times 0.05? Whoever failed the Asvab test or scored low, many of them they don't know how to multiply decimals. So let's multiply a decimal and how to improve your Asvab score. So here, if you want to multiply decimals, so first of all, forget about decimal. Think there is no decimal in here. So let me rewrite it. So I have 1205 times just 5. Now multiplying, as usual, 5 times 5 is 25. 5 carry 2. 5 times 0 0 plus 2 is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 0 carry 1. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. So it is 6025, right? So you see all of them are 6025. So now I have to put the decimal carefully. So after the decimal, I have how many digits I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to move 4 decimal places from right to left. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is the correct answer. Answer option. A large number of applicants consistently get this type of question wrong, which is very, very sad. Even though we teach regularly this type of question in 3rd and 4th grade student. This just shows that mastering the basic is very essential, no matter your age or background. So in order to solve this problem, so what they do actually, 2 times 4 equal to 8. That's they do. But 2 to the power 4th means you need to multiply 2 by itself 4 times. So that is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16. So the correct answer is option C. So make sure that you learned it. Let's practice another very easy and simple question you might see on the actual Asvab test. The question says, find the value of 64 exponent of 1 over 2, right? So this question is very, very simple and you see this type of question very often in the actual Asvab test. So two ways you could do that. The first of all, you see here exponent of 1/2. So that is basically square root over 64, exactly same thing. So that gives you 64 square root over 64. You know that the answer is 8. But there is another way you could also do it. If you don't have like exactly 1/2, if you have a different value in the exponent, you could do that. So you could write that as a 64 to the power 1/2. You could write inside the number in terms of exponent of 2, right? So you could write here 8 square and then 1/2 in outside. You see here now 2 to cancel out. That gives you the answer 8. So the correct answer option is option A. Make sure that you learn this. It will help you to prepare for the test. There are very often you might see this type of question in the actual test. Let's practice another easiest math knowledge question you might see on the actual Asvab test. The question says, simplify 16 ratio 18, right? So if you want to pass the Asvab test, you need to know some very, very basic math. Simplifying ratio is one of them. So if you want to simplify a ratio, you have to divide both by the same number, okay? So that means you could always start with the lowest number, like starting with 2 and then go 3 and then go 4 and then 5, until you get the lowest term. So in that case, both of them are even number, so you could easily divide it by 2. So 16 divided by 2 is 8, 18 divided by 2 is 9. So there is no other number you could divide 8 and 9. So that is the correct answer, option B. It is a absolute value problem. The question says the absolute value of 7 minus 5 minus absolute value of 3 minus 7. So let's do the problem. So if you want to do that, first do inside the absolute value. So that gives you 7 minus 5 is 2, absolute value of 2, minus 3 minus 7 gives you negative 4, right? So absolute value means you have to keep the positive number. If positive or negative inside the absolute value, you have to take the positive one. So in that case, that gives you 2 minus 4. So 2 minus 4, that means if you have a same sign in the front, you have to add. If you have a different sign in the front, you have to subtract and keep the big sign on. So that gives you negative 2. So the correct answer is option A. Let's practice another math knowledge question for the Asvab, PyCat and other version of Asvab test. The question says, what is the reciprocal of 3 and 2/5? If you want to find the reciprocal of a mixed number, what you have to do, you have to first make this mixed number into improper fraction and then flip it. So let's do it. So I have 3 and 2/5. So what you have to do first, you have to multiply with denominator and add with numerator. So that gives you 3 times 5 is 15 plus 2 is 17 over 5. So if you make reciprocal of this number, that gives you 5 over 17. So the correct answer is option C. Let's practice another very important question you might see on the actual Asvab test. The question says, if 3x minus 5 equal 25 minus 2x, what is the value of x? So if you want to solve any kind of algebraic equation, so what you have to do, you have to bring one side variable, another side constant. So let me write the problem down. So that gives you 3x minus 5 equal 25 minus 2x. So my goal is to bring the variable one side and bring the constant to the other side. So in order to do that, I have to eliminate this 5. So you have negative 5 in here, right? So you have to add both sides by 5. Let's do that. So what do we have now? I have 3x equal to 30 minus 2x. So in order to eliminate this 2x from right side, what do you have to do? Same thing, you have to do the opposite operation. So add both sides by 2x. So now this 2x cancel out. 3 plus 2 is 5x equal 30. Divide both sides by 5. 5 cancel out. That gives you x equal to 6. So the correct answer is option C. This question is not hard, but a little bit tricky. The question says, if z equal to 32 and z over 2 plus 37 equal to x, what is x? So it's pretty simple. Let's plug the value and simplify it. So let's do it. So that gives you 32 over 2 plus 37 equal to x, right? So 32 divided by 2 is 16 plus 37 equal to x. So add them up. So 6 plus 7 is 13, 3 carry 1, 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5 equal to x. So the correct answer is option C. So it is getting harder, right? So make sure that you practice over and over again. Let's practice a geometry related problem you might see on the actual Asvab test. The question says, what is the value of x in the figure below? Okay, so if you want to solve any kind of angle related problem of a triangle, you should know these two concepts. Total angle of a triangle is 180 degrees and supplementary angle equal two angle measures 180 degree, right? So there are two supplementary angles here. So these two angles 180 degrees, these two angles 180 degrees. With that being said, if this one is 100 degree, so that is actually 80 degrees. So 80 plus 50, 130 degrees. So 180 minus 130 equal to 50. So that angle equal to 50 degrees, right? So this angle will be 180 minus 50. So 180 minus 50 back into 130. So the correct answer is option D. The question says find the area of the figure shown, right? So if you look at the figure, that is a trapezoid because it has one pair of parallel sides, right? So if you want to find the area of the trapezoid, you need to know the formula. The formula is area equal to a plus b over 2 times h, right? So here a and b are the parallel sides, so you could write this as a, this as a b. So if you plug the value, that gives you 8 plus 5 over 2 times 4. So 8 plus 5 is 13 times 4 is 52 divided by 2 equal to 26. So that is the correct answer, option. Here is another easiest and simplest question you might see on the Asvab test. The question says, what is the square root of 25? So you need to read the question carefully. Square root. So that means you need to find a number, multiply by itself, becomes 25. So what is that number? So if you multiply 4 times 4, that gives you 16. So that is not an answer, option. 5 times 5, that gives you 25. So that is the correct answer, option, right? Or you could just do 25 square root, so that gives you just 5. Let's practice another very important question you might see on your actual Asvab test. The question says, what is the next number in the following series? The numbers are 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. When you deal with any kind of series related problem, make sure that you use all different way to get the next number. Okay, if you get it one way, you might not get the correct answer. Say like, I subtract 4 minus 1 is 3, but 9 minus 4 is 5. So that doesn't make sense. But if you look this problem closely, you see here all these number are perfect square number. That means a number multiplied by itself. So 1 square equal to 1, 2 square equal to 4, 3 square equal to 9, 4 square equal to 16, 5 square equal to 25, 6 square equal to 36, 7 square equal to 49. So the correct answer option is option C. Sometimes you might see very easy and simple question on the Asvab test, like this question. It says, what is the reciprocal of 1 over 9? So if you know the meaning of reciprocal, then you should not take more than 5 seconds to answer this question. So the reciprocal means you have to flip the number or the fraction. So in that case, 1 over 9. So if you just flip it, that gives you 9 over 1 or just 9. So the correct answer is answer option B. Hi everyone, here is another most common Asvab question you might see on the Asvab test. So let's simplify the problem together. It says simplify 4 over 5x plus 2x. So in order to simplify that, you have to combine them. So this is a fraction. So if you want to add a fraction, the first thing you have to do, you have to find the common denominator. So let's do it together. So that gives you 4 over 5x plus 2x over 1. So the here common denominator is 5x. So let's write that down. 5x here, 5x there. Now 5x divided by 5x equal to 1. 1 times 4 is 4 plus what you need to multiply 1 to get 5x? You need to multiply by 5x here, 5x there, right? So that gives you 5 times 2 is 10x squared. So the answer is 4 plus 10x squared over 5x. So the answer option C is the correct answer. Let's practice another very important question for the Asvab test. The question says, if a rectangle has a perimeter of 36 feet and it is 5 feet wide, what is the area? So let's draw the figure first. So this is a rectangle, right? And you know the rectangle is a four-sided shape and it has opposite sides are the same. That means this side and this side are the same, this side and this side are the same. And the perimeter means adding outside all the sides, and then the area is inside, right? So the perimeter here is 36 and wide is 5, right? So this side is 5 means this side is also 5. So 5 plus 5 is 10. So 36 minus 10, that gives you 26. Now if you divide it by 2, so that will give you the one of those unknown sides. So 26 divided by 2 is 13. So now you know the length and width. So the area equal to length times width equal 13 times 5 equal to 65. So the area is 65. The correct answer option D. If you want to study by yourself, download this application from App Store or Google Play. It has prediction tests that can tell you if you're ready to take the actual test or not.